there is a segment beyond that which is known to man. It is a segment as vast as these airwaves and as timeless as the internet. It is the middle ground between fandom and social media, and it lies between the pit of dissection and the summit of obsession. It is an area which we call the TZ segment on Hallowed Groundling.
Hello and welcome to Hallowed Groundling. This is the monthly segment on the original Twilight Zone where I will be breaking down one episode at a time, and today is the 6th episode of the first season, Escape Clause. But first, I would like to introduce my special guest today. Danielle Gelehrter is an actress, comedian, and adjunct English professor in Massachusetts. In certain arcane and mysterious circles, she is known as Penny Dreadful, witch horror hostess of Shilling Shockers. Shilling Shockers aired on local cable channels throughout New England from 2006 to 2016 and featured a variety of classic horror, science fiction, and fantasy films. In the guise of her alter ego, she currently hosts Terror at Collinwood, a podcast dedicated to the classic Gothic television series Dark Shadows. Penny won the Rondo Hatton Classic Horror Award for Favorite Horror Hostess in 2007 and again in 2010, and was inducted into the Horror Host Hall of Fame in 2014. Terror at Collinwood won the Rondo Award for Best Podcast last year. She also wrote on the official Masters of the Universe bios for Mattel and Super 7 and added more horror elements to the lore, as well as contributing to the Motu books for Dark Horse. Danny is a big fan of the fantastic, especially things that go bump in the night. She's also one of my dearest friends, and we would both like to not acknowledge at all that we were part of a very illegal production of The Princess Bride. Neither one of us were involved in that, so if you hear anything, it's all a rumor. I'm thrilled to have her back on the podcast. Hi, Danny.
Oh, Erin, I don't know what you're talking about.
I
I've
don't know
never
what you're talking
heard of
about.
that.
I don't
What do you
know.
mean?
We
There are
weren't
no stage rights for the Princess Bride.
there aren't, and we were
I,
not part of one
I
at
don't think the
all.
word means what you think it means.
I don't think it means at all what you think. It's inconceivable that that would ever be the case. Oh
Okay.
God, we have friends of ours that watch it. They'll be like, they were in that production. I'm like,
No, 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 no,
no,
no,
we were not. No,
no.
we were not. I'm so glad to have you back on the show.
Oh, that's great.
You're one of my dearest and closest, and it's so
Oh.
much fun to have you. And I purposely had you on this episode, which we will get into because this episode has someone we really love in it. So we're gonna have a nice nice discussion about him. So you just recently completed watching the entire Twilight Zone series, right? So like,
Yeah.
what was your impression of the series overall? Like, what did you think of it?
Oh my God. Well, I had watched quite a few episodes of The Twilight Zone growing up. I think it was on Channel 38, I want to say, in in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, mid 80s. And it was on, I remember it was on late at night, at like, I think it was like 11 o'clock. So I
Hmm.
usually wasn't up that late to watch, but I watched several of them over the years as a kid. And then, the marathons they would have. So I'd watch some of that sometimes. But so I was kind of under the impression that I probably have seen most of them at this point, but I had only seen, in all truth, a small percentage of those episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, well, I've never seen this one. I've never seen this one. Oh yeah, I've seen this one. I haven't seen these five. I've seen this one. So it was really cool to watch the series in its entirety. And what a wonderful show. It was, I always really liked the Twilight Zone, but I just, it's so it's so imaginative. It stimulates your imagination. It
Mm,
can be a great escape, but it's also these timeless tales that are still relevant today and that still resonate today.
yeah. Yeah.
And I just, there's so many things I loved about it, from just just the actors, the different actors that you see in it, and
Hmm.
the different moods and themes that would be presented, and it was all like this fantastic stuff. Every
Yeah.
episode isn't, it's not, it's like a show for people like us. It's like, it's not like, oh, this isn't a like a standard run of the mill show by any
Hmm.
means. It's really
No.
special. It's a really
Yeah.
special show, and it's all the twists that they would have. Sometimes they were funny, sometimes they were really dark, sometimes they were, meaningful to humanity. A lot of
Yeah.
times they were, which is why it stood the test of time to
Hmm.
this day.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I really enjoyed, you host her at Collinwood. You're a huge Dark Shadows fan, obviously, and I'm in the middle of watching Dark Shadows. So I've been sharing with you over text, like every time something new and fun happens. And I really enjoyed that when you were watching Twilight Zone, that you would check in with me about episodes that you watched and what you thought of them. And it was really fun to hear your opinion. And I knew you were familiar, and you told me like how when you saw these ones that you've never seen, to see your reaction to them. It was really fun to get your play by play as you visited the series. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really fun, and there were a lot of surprises, and
Mm.
and also just things that like vague memories that I was like, I've seen this one, but I don't remember much. Like the parallel, like I know I
Mm.
read that when I was a kid at some point
Yeah.
because I love parallel universe stories. So I was like, I remember this one, but I didn't remember that much about it. So it was like, oh, it's been because it's been decades since I had seen that particular one. Whereas
Right.
like really famous ones I had seen more recently, like Living Dolly, for example,
Yeah.
that's something I had seen again not that
Hmm.
long ago.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see those. And then I text you, you're like, oh my God, what? Burt Reynolds? What? Yeah, like
I
it's
know. All these
yeah,
like random people show up during it, and yeah,
yeah,
it's that's pretty incredible. And that's something fun that we're going to talk about a little bit today too, about all the actors that kind of
yeah,
made their way across these shows, in the 60s and like the late 50s, early 60s, that were character actors, were workhorses, and just kind of like, and some, went up to like films and more stardom, but then a lot of like most of them are just like these awesome workhorse actors that have been around
yeah,
forever. Yeah.
yeah.
So, do you have a particular favorite episode from now watching the whole series? Is there an episode that really like resonates with you more than any other?
Gosh, it's really difficult to pick and I know I'm sure this is like even more so for you,
Hmm.
but it's like difficult to pick a specific favorite episode because
Yeah.
they're all good. There wasn't one episode that I disliked. Like I
Yeah.
didn't watch it and be like, I didn't like this one. I liked all of them. I liked some more than others,
Sure.
but one of my all-time favorites, even prior to watching it, it might still hold the crown, which is relevant because we're talking about the devil today. But this particular the Howling Man, the
Yeah.
Howling Man was so disturbing and so eerie and
Yes.
so good, and it had John Carradine in it. I mean, it
Yeah.
was just that one always ticked all the boxes for me as far as like spooky episodes, and I love
Right.
those spooky kind of eerie episodes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It
Like
was funny when Kate was on, we talked about the Howling Man because the Howling Man scared her so badly when she
yeah,
watched it that she went to get down to her basement to go get her laundry, and she made Titus, her husband, stand at the top of the stairs
yeah, yeah,
because she
yeah.
was so scared
Sure,
during
sure.
it. She was like she was so scared when he switched over and changed it. It creeped her
Yeah.
out so badly.
But it's like, but that one's so good, and I love those. Like I mean, I'm a monster kid like you, so
Right.
I did those kind of spooky episodes. Like was
Yeah.
Night Call was the one with the grave, getting the full.
Yes, with Gladys Cooper.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
one's amazing.
that
Yeah.
one's great. The new exhibit was so disturbing,
I
and
was so excited for you to
yeah,
get to the new exhibit. I didn't tell you a thing, and I remember it. I was like,
yeah,
"You're gonna love this episode. I know
yeah,
you are." It's like, oh,
yeah.
so good.
I also love the funny episodes so much. Like
Yeah.
Cavender is coming, though the one with Carol Burnett. Like, I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
I could watch Carol Burnett read the phone book and I would
Right.
be entertained, but
Hmm.
I love that episode. I
Me
mean, that
too.
laugh so
Yeah.
much. Gosh, one with Buster Keaton. It's like,
Yeah. Once upon a time. Yep. That's a
yeah,
very good one too.
I love
Yeah.
the funny ones too.
Yeah.
So there's so many good ones. Like you named, I said, name a favorite, and I just named the whole Living Doll.
No, yeah, there's
Yeah,
so many good ones. Yeah, no, and it's hard
hard
to
to tell you.
categorize them. You almost have to categorize them and say the
Yeah.
funny ones, the creepy ones, like this is my favorite funny one, this is my
Yeah, the
favorite.
sci-fi ones. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So it's easier to kind of do that. And I have like I'm with you, it's so hard for me. I can't really pick a favorite. I have ones that are like tops, but then it's like I'm also like, oh, I love this one too, and I love this, and I don't there's some I like more than others, like you said, but I don't dislike any of them. I'm not
Yeah.
I like some less than others, but yeah, but
Yeah. And that's how I
definitely.
feel about the Dark Shadow storylines too.
Yeah.
Like I never met a Dark Shadow storyline I didn't like. I liked all of them, but I liked some more than others.
Oh,
So,
right. I
yeah.
mean, and I've like been talking to you about as I've gone through, and I mean, I'm in 1897 right now and just like in love with the whole Quentin thing, and I'm
Yeah.
in love with, everybody, and that like I just love every character that's come on, you know what I
Oh,
mean? I haven't
oh,
disliked anyone, I've like liked every single, but I'm always a sucker for the villains, so,
the
and
villains
I'm
are always more fun.
yeah, and for those listening, like I am madly in love with Angelique. Like Danny knows, I'm madly. I have such a crush on Angelique. I adore her. Anytime she comes on the screen, I'm elated and happy. There's my girl. There she is. For the
I brought the
video,
bobblehead just for Erin.
for the video viewers, we have Angelique bobblehead in the picture. She entered the chat. She entered the chat.
Angelique has been summoned into the chat.
All right, so every episode I do a highlight, and today our specific highlight is on the great David Wayne, who is the lead in the Escape Clause episode. So this was David Wayne's only Twilight Zone episode. He didn't do any others, unfortunately. He was born in Michigan in 1914. He acted for more than 50 years. He won two Tony Awards. And we both specifically love him very much as well because we're big fans of Batman 66, speaking of more 60s shows that we love. And of course, David Wayne played the Mad Hatter on Batman 66. So Danny, what are some of your thoughts on David Wayne as the Mad Hatter? What are your impressions of him?
Well, Erin, the Mad Hatter is delightful. I find him quite pleasurable.
Jarvis, Jarvis. She was like, oh,
Nervous
really?
pitch, the Mad
That was
Hatter.
titched. We,
I
oh
loved
my
him
God.
as the Mad Hatter. He was so much fun.
Oh my
One of the
God.
classic Batman. He wasn't in a lot of episodes, like we said,
Only four. Yeah.
4 episodes, but he is a classic member of Batman's Rogues Gallery, and
Hmm.
he was perfectly cast in that role. The one that I remember the most was the one where he's the Batman's cowl. He contaminated.
Contaminated cowl, the pink cowl. Yeah.
Yeah. And but he was great in that. And I mean, he's a classic villain from the comics too. And in fact, in
Yeah.
the 60s, he played the imposter Mad Hatter because there was the original Mad Hatter
Hmm.
who looked more like Lewis Carroll, the John Tenniel illustration in Lewis Carroll. And
Yeah.
then he disappeared from the comics, and the imposter we didn't know at the time. I guess this was in the 60s. He comes in, and it's the one with the mustache that
Yeah.
Wayne played, and he was also called himself Jervis Tetch, but
Mm.
and who's obsessed with, he's a hat collector, he's obsessed with collecting hats. So that's the one they did in the 60 series. And then in the comics, the original Mad Hatter comes back and does away with the imposter Mad Hatter. But then imposter Mad Hatter showed up in like later stories too. So I guess he survived. So
Sounds like the Hamburglar.
yeah, it is. Yes, yeah, yes. Yes. But I am so glad that David Wayne was cast in that role because he's
Yeah.
if there's another with the eyes pop out of his hat. I
Oh, I
remember I
love the
gave you a
top hat.
figure of that,
You
didn't I?
did. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
with the contaminated cowl. I have
Yes,
the
that's right.
Batman has the pink cowl and it's with the two of them. And I have it in the I left it in its packaging. I didn't take it out or anything like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I love the contaminated cowl so much. And we were laughing before we started the episode where we were talking about his accent, which is just
Yeah.
phenomenal. And we could have do he's sort of this he pulls his face in when he talks and it's
Yes,
just
yeah,
he's
I
like
remember.
Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but it's inconsistent, which I love even more. I'm like, it's like he just thought to do it every now and then
Yeah.
during it, Because sometimes it's just this haughty, toady accent, and then it goes into this kind of.
He was great in that. And
Oh.
he was also in a Night Gallery episode, but it's been
Mhm.
a long time since I've watched Night Gallery, which I have to rewatch because I have them all on DVD, but I don't
Yeah, I
in
can't
the
remember the name of the episode, but yes, he did. He also did Night Gallery as well. But it was funny last night we watched Bill and I ended up watching the four Mad Hatter episodes and we were laughing because I said to him, I'm like, my one regret I have is that I'll never be able to play a villain in 1966 Batman. Like if time meant nothing, I'd want to go back and play a villain. And what's so funny to me, and I want your thoughts on this, is that I think a lot of times like at the time it was viewed as like your career was in a downslide. If you went on Batman, it meant
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, like it was like you were sort of like not doing as like you needed work, you know. And I'm like, I can't think of anything I would rather play like than to be able to chew the scenery and like wear
Yeah.
these wild costumes. The sets are incredible. Like every time I watch the show, the sets are incredible, the props are incredible, and you could just throw everything at the wall, like whatever
Use it.
stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
you know, and have fun and lean into every wacky, weird, wonderful thing you wanted to do. And I can't think of a more dream as an actor. What do you think of that? Like,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
My impression was always that it was like you're hip if you get a slot on, if you get a villain gig on that. Like it was in something that people would want to do. Like
Right.
at least maybe that's because that's how I would think of it. Like, wow, though, if you get a villain gig on Batman, you're hip, you're cool. You know,
For
it's like,
real. Yeah.
it's like doing a cameo on Laugh-In or something. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like that's the cool thing to do. Uh,
Yes.
so, and you would have made a great Batman
Oh,
villain.
I would have had fun.
Absolutely.
I would have loved,
Uh,
you would too. I mean, we would be
oh, dude.
great. Oh my God. Could you see? I would play anything too. I'd be like, yep, give me any character. I will
Yeah.
lean into it 1,000%. I love
They
it.
they made up so many villains too, like new ones for the like King Tut, or Egghead, those like two favorites too, like I know you love King Tut too,
I
but
do. And I love Egghead because it's
yeah,
Vincent
yeah.
Price. I love them both. So yeah, but I'm a big Victor Buono fan. I adore that man. So yeah. Yeah, no, I love I love all of them too. That's another thing. That's another like choosing one. I could never choose a favorite Batman villain, particularly from the 66 series, because I just love every single one of them that comes through. Yeah, no matter how even like Liberace is
Oh,
Shendel and like
Chantel.
just like all that they're all
Yeah,
great. They're all
yeah.
so
I think
much
it's
fun.
done another season. What wasn't it? It was NBC. It was an NBC that wanted to uh take it over. They wanted to do season four, but they had
Yeah.
destroyed all the sets by then, unfortunately, and it was too expensive to rebuild them, so
I
they
mean,
never.
like the sets are insane. I can't
Oh,
imagine, you know, can you
yeah.
imagine getting pieces from that set? Like the one I watched this morning, which we'll talk a little about too, is the Catwoman one, the double
Yeah.
Catwoman, and her lair with the giant swing and like the
Yes.
leopard print chairs and the
Oh
leopard
my
print
God.
screen prints and all this. I'm like,
Amazing.
that's
I know.
crazy.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
Incredible. Yeah.
I love
Uh,
it.
yeah, it's
I
so
love it so much. Oh my God. So, one of the other things that he did, which I love this little fact. So David Wayne was one of two actors that played Blanche's father, Big Daddy Hollingsworth, on The Golden Girls, and the other actor was Murray Hamilton, who played Mayor Vaughn in Jaws, and also was in One for the Angels, which we covered a couple months ago. And I love that fact that they were the two actors who played Big Daddy Hollingsworth, David Wayne and Murray Hamilton, two Twilight Zone
yeah.
alums as well.
Oh,
Yeah. And he's
that's
great. Yeah, yeah, he's wonderful in that episode as her dad.
yeah. I love
Cool.
the girls too.
Oh, me too. I mean, I adore The Golden Girls. That's another show that I've watched
Yeah.
numerous times. I can't even count how many times because it's just a
I,
fun. I watch it in the summer. It's like a summer show to me. Like I'll put it on in the
oh,
summertime when I'm, cleaning around my house or doing something. I can put it on in the background. I know every episode, and I'm like,
we watch it in Florida where my parents go to Florida for the winter because they're Portuguese snowbirds. So when we go down to stay with them, we always watch Golden Girls because it just feels like if we're in Florida, we have to watch the Golden Girls.
oh yeah, a
Yeah.
hundred percent. And
Yeah.
your sister Amy is a big fan,
They
right?
both are.
Oh,
Maggie and
Maggie is too. Yeah.
equally.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
equally. Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
Big, huge fan. She's a big. She got the Golden Girls board game and brought it one time when we went on a trip to play the trivia. Uh,
The trivia game's not easy. And I mean, I've
oh,
seen
I got
every
everything
episode.
wrong.
Yeah, I've seen every episode numerous times and I played it and I was like, because somebody got it for me for a Christmas or something. And I played it and I was like, there's some of these I don't even, I'm like, I don't remember that. I don't
Yeah.
remember that, you know? But yeah, it's
I
not,
got
yeah.
I got my sister Maggie Golden Palace for
Oh, I love it.
yeah.
Oh, the
Because
one
she had watched
season.
all the Golden Girls multiple times, but not Golden Palace. Like, well, you should watch Golden, but it's not the
Yeah,
same. It doesn't
it's
have the
not. No,
and they're
it's
not in the
not.
house. They're at the hotel, and Sophia is not. She had already been starting to go downhill at that point. Estelle Getty, so it's not
Yeah.
the same. Her timing is not like what it was. So, but it's still cool to see
I know.
them.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's fine. I'm not a big fan. I've watched it a few times, but I'm not as big of a fan, obviously, as
Yeah,
the
and Empty
series.
Nest, the spin-off, that was fun with Richard Mulligan.
That
He
was a good, I liked Empty Nest a lot. I watched that when I was younger. I don't know if that's even available on DVD. I don't know if I've ever seen it on DVD.
yeah,
I
it
wonder if
might.
it is. Yeah, I love Richard Mulligan. I think he's great. I mean, he was wonderful in his yeah, his when he was on the show as as their neighbor who they ended up spending
Yeah,
but his episodes that he was on were really great. They were
yeah,
like a couple with him and Dorothy, like when Dorothy's like sick and she doesn't know what she has and
yeah,
she's going to all these doctors and she goes to him. There that little scene with them is just
yeah.
beautiful. It's like
Yeah.
so good, funny and sweet and yeah, that I mean that was a really wonderful character. I'm glad that they
Did
spun
you
him
ever
off.
watch Soap?
Oh yeah,
Oh
Soap.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
I'm
I
the
haven't
soap.
watched it in a
I'm
long time.
invisible.
I haven't seen Soap in forever. I used to watch it on Nick at Night. I used to watch
Yeah.
Soap
Oh
on
yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah, Soap is so
That
much
was a
fun.
fun show.
Oh yeah. Okay, so here are the escape clause facts. So we'll start out with Rod Serling's opening. You're about to meet a hypochondriac. Witness Mr. Walter Bedecker, age 44, afraid of the following: death, disease, other people, germs, drafts, and everything else. I mean, same, really. He, he has one interest in life, and that's Walter Bedecker. One preoccupation, the life and well being of Walter Bedecker. One abiding concern about society, that if Walter Bedecker should die, how will it survive without him? And he sets him up so well. I love it.
Yes.
So this episode premiered November 6th, 1959. It was directed by Mitchell Leeson, who also directed the season one episodes The 16 Millimeter Shrine and People Are Like All Over with Roddy McDowall. Oh, another wonderful one. This one was written by Rod Serling, like many of the episodes in the first season. So, of course, Walter Bedecker is played by the great David Wayne. Mr. Cadwallader was played by Thomas Gomez, who also played Peter Sykes in the season two episode Dust. Ethel Bedecker is played by Virginia Christine, which was her only Twilight Zone episode. Adjuster number one was played by Dick Wilson, who also played a clock mover in the season five episode 90 Years Without Slumbering. And he also was Mr. Whipple.
Yes.
Yeah, that
Yes.
was the original
Yes.
Mr.
Those
Whipple.
ways the Charmin.
Yep. Adjuster number two was played by Joe Flynn, and this was his only TZ episode. But he's another one was from Batman 66. He played Benton Belgoody in a two-episode arc of Catwoman on Batman. So this was something I wanted to talk to you about. I watched the episode to kind of refresh myself, and we had talked about this before we started the episode, but this is the episode of Batman with Catwoman where she steals people's voices and she poses as a dance teacher and he's the owner of the dance studio, Benton Belgoody. And in the second episode, in this two episode two-parter, there's like how there's always the cameos, and this was in the second season where they really leaned into the goofiness of the show. I think you can agree, like Batman, when it like got into the second season, they got
Yeah.
real silly and goofy. So they started doing the gag with the window when they would climb the
Oh,
wall.
right. Yeah.
Don Ho was the one. He popped out of the thing in that, but really wild. So I'm going through the cast list, and Steve Allen did a cameo. He played Alan Steven, which I thought was pretty
Yes.
funny.
Right. Yes. Yep. Yep.
So the other one that I don't know if you're aware of this, I'm going down the list and I look, and Jay Sebring was in this episode.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
So in the second episode in Bat's Kowtow, which is the second one, Catwoman and her gang go to a hair salon, and all her male members, Eeny, Meeny, Miny, and Mo, they're all in there like in barber chairs,
Yeah.
and it's Mr. Ocean Brings Salon. That's the name of the salon.
Oh,
And he's standing there. Jay Sebring is standing there in the salon, and then Batman and Robin come in, and then they fight. Of course, they do the big fight
I
scene,
don't remember that.
and Jay Sebring is trying to get them to stop knocking his antiques over. So he keeps going, no,
Yeah.
no, no, my vase, no, 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 this. And then at the end, of course, he leans on a vase and it falls over.
Yeah.
But he only has like a few lines here and there, but it is Jay Sebring. I was like, oh my God, Jay Sebring's in this episode. I didn't even I've seen the episode, but it never dawned
Yeah.
on me that it was him. Yeah.
it's amazing who shows up in these shows that it's like you don't remember, or you saw it when you were a kid and then you
Yeah.
rewatch, like, what? Yeah.
Yeah, and even if you rewatch it, maybe it just goes by your head. You're like, and but you then
Yeah.
I noticed Steve Allen. I mean, because of course you're
Yeah.
gonna know. But I was like, oh my God, that is Jay Sebring. Holy cow, that's just nuts. That
Yeah.
yeah, that wigged me out today. I was like, I never because a lot of these people are also uncredited. Like they're not even
Yeah.
credited in it. Joe Flynn wasn't credited in as the Benton Bellgoody. Like when you first look at the episode. So,
Yeah.
yeah, really nuts. But
Uh,
that's one of the fun parts about these character actors that just pop up, but also
oh,
like,
totally.
yeah,
And it's
strange
like,
cameos.
yeah, definitely. And yeah, anyway,
Yeah, I
it's like,
know. It's nuts. So ju the judge was played by George Baxter. This was his only TZ episode. The doctor was played by Raymond Bailey, who played Millard in the season 2 episode Back There, and a supervisor in From Agnes with Love, the season 5 episode. He was also Mr. Drysdale on Beverly Hillbillies.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So he plays the doctor in the episode.
yeah.
Cooper is played by Wendell Holmes, his only Twilight Zone episode. The guard is played by Nesdin Booth. He was Phil Nolan in the season 2 episode The Prime Mover, which had Buddy Ebsen in it,
Oh,
actually.
yeah,
So
yeah,
great
yeah.
another little connection. And the subway guard was played by Alan Lurie. This was his only Twilight Zone episode. He did a lot of cartoon voice work, like tons
Yes.
and tons of cartoon voice work.
Yep.
And then the janitor was played by Paul E. Burns, and this was his only Twilight Zone episode. So a lot of like only one timers, but then there's some interesting people that had like lots of work, like Mr. Whipple and Mr. Drysdale, and like it's
Yeah.
pretty crazy. I love that. I love looking to see like all the connections. It's very 6 degrees of Kevin
Oh, for
Bacon, but
sure. Yeah. I
but
mean,
it's
there's so many of those actors. That was one of the fun things about watching the whole series is like, oh my God, it's that actor. Like a who's who of the 60s era character actors
yeah.
in that show, and 50s and 60s character actors just showing up, or and major stars too, people that like Dennis Hopper,
Oh
when
yeah.
he's alive, which is another thing about the Twilight Zone that just really resonated with that episode. I couldn't sleep after watching that. I was
Yeah.
so, because it's so relevant to
Yes.
the world today, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, this is so incredible that this everybody should be made to watch that in schools,
Hmm.
honestly, where the
Yeah, He's
obsolete
Alive
man,
is, and
perfect
it's
man.
not, He's Alive is not a popular episode. Like people don't talk about He's Alive, but
Really?
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure, big fans, but like as far as like the ones
Yeah.
everybody knows, you know what I mean? They know Nightmare at 20,000 Feet, they know Living
Oh,
Doll, they know all the creepy ones, the fun creepy ones, but that one is, I agree with you. That one is so scary relevant. Like that one's come up a couple times now on this segment I've been doing that because of its relevancy.
sure. Or the
Yeah.
obsolete man too,
Oh,
with
yeah.
another Batman alum, Burgess
Burgess Meredith, yeah. Who
Meredith,
who
also did several Twilight Zone. It was always a joy to see Burgess Meredith in an episode of it. Was
Yeah,
three of them, right? Was it three?
he
Twilight Zone,
did. So let's see.
Never
He
Enough
did
Time.
Time Enough at Last, which is
Never
coming
Enough.
right up. Actually, is like 2 episodes from now to do. He did The Obsolete Man. He did Printer's Devil.
Yeah.
He did Mr. Dingle the Strong.
Oh,
So
that's right.
he did the
Yes. Yes.
Strong Man
Yeah.
episode, and I think that's all of them. I think
I
I have
think
all
that
of
was
them. It's the
four. Yeah.
four. Yeah, the four leads. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was. I think he was the one who did the most leads out of anyone. I
Yeah.
believe. Like there's other people that have character actors that definitely have come and done like minor roles on the show. I had one. His name is flying out of my head a couple episodes ago. That was like he did like 7
Oh,
roles, but he was like small, like playing man. Bill Irwin also
yeah.
did quite a few. Bill Irwin, the
Oh,
character actor who was
yeah.
in a lot of John
Yeah.
Hughes movies, he's done quite a few as well. So these little tiny roles, just like showing up in the background of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, definitely. Um, so let's get into the episode. Let's talk a little bit about what happens during this episode. So,
Yes.
spoiler alert for anyone who has never seen Twilight Zone, we're about to break it down. So, Walter Bedecker, a paranoid and self absorbed hypochondriac, is meeting with his doctor, who tells him that all of his ailments are psychosomatic. Walter is convinced that his wife Ethel and doctor are conspiring against him. After the doctor leaves, he bemoans to his wife Ethel about why a man has to die and why he is given such a short amount of time to live. So, David Wayne plays Walter Bedecker to the hilt here. This opening sets up his character perfectly and the relationship between Walter and Ethel. So, what do you think of David Wayne as Walter? What do you think of
Oh
it?
God, he's just so. obnoxious, but it's perfect. He
Yeah.
played that part perfectly. I mean, a thoroughly unlikable person from the start, and which, you know, uh, given what happens to him ultimately, it's like, he kind of had it coming, kind of a thing.
Oh
And
yeah.
where it's gonna go. I mean, it's kind, but he's just such an he's awful to his wife, he's awful to the doctor. He is just every little thing is
I
going to
know.
kill him. I mean, he has just played the part so perfectly, and just no redeeming qualities
No.
whatsoever to
But
that
he's
character.
also funny. Like
But
he's
he's
also
funny.
he's
Yes.
really
Yes.
funny.
But he is, I will, yes, you're right. That is
Right?
the one redeeming quality. He
Yeah.
is funny because of how
Awful.
ridiculous he is and awful he is.
Yes.
He
He's
is,
just
and
so
highly entertaining, given that it's David Wayne, of course it's going to be entertaining, but
yeah.
he was, yeah,
He's
not a good guy.
no, no, not at all. Like he's like there's no redeeming qualities about him. There's no I mean, and that's something we'll get into a little bit later. I have another question for you later on about him, but like he's so funny and I highlighted one of his lines, a line that I laugh at every time I watch the episode, no matter how many times I see it. It's one of his lines and it always cracks me up. But I agree. He's just like so repellent, but he's also very funny. Like that
Yeah. Oh,
you
yeah.
can't help but laugh at him. You don't feel bad for him, but you like laugh with him,
Yes.
kind of laugh at him a little bit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Very entertaining.
I
Yeah.
think it was a really fun way to play a narcissist. Like a
I
really
was thinking that exact word when I read your outline. I was like, well, he's a narcissist, that's,
yeah.
yeah, that's narcissistic, very much so. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
100%. Yeah, he is. And he just like he just cracks me up in it. I just love him so much because it's like even though he's repellent, he's also just there's something sort of funny and charming about him
totally.
too.
Yes, yes, yeah,
So Virginia Christine, who plays Ethel, the put upon Ethel, she had roles in some of our favorite movies as horror hostesses. So Invasion of the Body Snatchers, The Mummy's
yes,
Curse, and Billy the Kid versus Dracula.
yes, yeah,
So
yeah.
what do you think about her work in this episode?
Well,
She's
I
wonderful.
mean, how can you not love Princess Ananka?
I
Like, oh
love
my
her
God,
so
Princess
much.
Ananka. Yeah, she was great. She was great. She's also there was the Folgers lady, was Mrs. Olsen from the Folgers commercials
Oh
for a
yeah,
really
that's
long
right.
time. Yeah, 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 oh,
Oh my
yeah.
God, I forgot all about
Yeah,
that.
yep, yep. Oh, she was
Yeah.
fantastic. I mean, I felt she's so sympathetic, such a sympathetic
Oh,
character, and I don't know how she put up with Bedecker, Walter Bedecker, but it's a good kind of flip on the Twilight Zone formula, I guess, because and we've talked about this before. In so many of those episodes, the wife is the shrew. She's very
yep.
shrewish and unpleasant and unlikable.
Oh yeah.
Uh, but in this situation, it's the other way around. The husband is the one who's like badgers her and is not nice to her,
Hmm.
but he's funny because it's David Wayne playing it,
Y-
charismatically. But I felt for her, and I was like, kept wanting her to just be like,
Screw
"Oh,
you.
shut up," kind of. So I felt so bad for her and her
Yeah.
ultimate fate too. He doesn't even react to it. He's just like,
I know we're gonna talk about that too.
yeah,
I like that. That always gets me every time I watch
yeah,
that. I do love, and I want your opinion on this too. Like one of my favorite things is when she comes back into the room and she's like closing the windows, and he's like, "Do you know how many germs are in a cubic foot of air?" And she repeats what he says, like 'cause he said it 100, how many number of
yes,
germs there are in the
yeah.
air. I love that so much because she's like, "Yeah, I know,
But
okay."
yeah, but she's still concerned about him, and it's like,
No, yeah.
God, tell her just shut up.
Yeah. I love too when the doctor is like, "You look run down. You need vitamins." Like,
Yeah, to her,
yeah.
because she's been taking care of him constantly.
She's run
Yeah,
down. She's
yeah,
like, "Uh-huh, I've had it. Yeah. I've had
yeah,
enough." Yeah, I
yeah.
know. She's wonderful in this. I agree. She's so sympathetic and you feel so bad for her, and her lot kind of in life that she's going to
Yeah,
deal with him. So we'll talk about their relationship a little bit more too, because I love thinking of that, like how that came to be.
yeah.
She's so great though. So after his wife leaves, a man calling himself Cadwallader appears in Walter's room, offering him immortality and a halt to his physical aging. Walter correctly guesses that Cadwallader is the devil, and they haggle, with Walter's soul being part of the bargain. Cadwallader says that Walter will never miss it, which I love too. So there were two other notable episodes that featured deals with the devil. The season 4 episodes, The Printer's Devil, and of late, I think of Cliffordville. We also have The Howling Man, which you brought up as well, too. And so, what do you think of Thomas Gomez as Cadwallader in this episode? What do you think of him?
Well, Cadwallader, which is such a bizarre name.
Isn't it a great name? I love Cadwall. I think
Like
that's when he goes
Cadwallader,
Cad.
but it fits him so perfectly.
Oh,
And
I
it's like
know, I know.
the name he's choosing to use at that time.
He's like, it's got a good ring to it. I like it.
Yeah.
It's like.
He was sensational. I mean, every iteration of the devil in the Twilight Zone has its own distinct flavor,
Right.
and he is sort of well, you have, Burgess Meredith in The Printer's Devil was sort of the rascally
Yeah.
devil that the devil of Daniel Webster type of
Oh
devil.
yeah, that's a
Yeah,
perfect, yeah, that's a perfect
yeah,
comparison. Yeah.
and then Julie Newmar is the seductive but really confident devil. She
She's
was
so great.
so great. And then the Howling Man devil was terrifying.
Yeah.
But that still gives me the chills thinking about that. And the trickster too, like the liar.
Right. So I
Uh,
think of Howling Man a little less like the deal with it because he doesn't really make a deal with him. He tricks him into
he
helping
tricked him.
him. You know
He
what I
tricked
mean?
him.
So it's
Yeah, no,
more
yeah, it's
like a
not a
trick.
bargain. It's a trick.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
goes for his good personality, like his
yeah,
his wanting to help him.
yeah.
Yeah, but definitely
But
the trickster. Yeah.
But Cadwallader is the salesman devil, who's the confidence man, who's like, yes, oh, of course, like you this is what you want. I can give it to you. You drive a hard bargain, but he's but you drive because he wants to not he doesn't want to age too. He's like, oh, I thought of that. I don't want to age either.
Right.
So oh well, I could it'll be difficult, but I could do that. And but he knows how it's going to go because that's how
Yeah.
it always goes. So he's going to con him into selling his soul to him. And he
Mm-hmm.
was great at playing that very boisterous, friendly con artist devil. He was very good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the eye, like his eyes. I love his eyes so much.
Oh
He was
yeah.
he acted so much with his face during this. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, very big bodied, very,
Yeah.
grand, like you said, salesman, like
Yeah.
pitchman, but his face said a lot, like during it.
Oh
And
yeah.
I love him so much. I do love that line too, where he goes like, "You'll never even know it's gone."
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. It's
It's so
great.
crystal clear, like he knows everything that's gonna happen down the road, and I
Yeah,
just
and I
love it
love
so much.
I love like when he signs the contract, the
Oh,
flame,
big stamp and the
the
smoke, and
stamp.
then
That's right. It was the stamp.
oh,
Yeah,
I also love too when he goes, "You sure keep it hot in here."
yeah,
That
yes.
line always
It's
gets
so
me
good,
too. That's what
so
this
good.
episode is full of, such good one-liners, like just
Yeah,
absolutely wonderful one-liners. Rod was really
yeah,
on fire with this one because it was like,
yeah,
sure keep it
yeah,
hot in here.
yeah. Yes, yep.
So let me ask you, if you could make a deal with the devil, would you? And what would it be for?
Erin, who's to say I haven't already? Who's to say I haven't already?
I could see you falling for the Julie Newmar one. You'd be like, "Holy shit, it's Julie Newmar."
But okay, that's
She's like,
fine.
"No, I'm the devil."
No.
You're like, "Yeah, okay, Julie Newmar."
Uh,
Sure.
honestly, honest answer,
Mm,
I wouldn't
you wouldn't.
because we all know how the Faustian bargain goes. I mean, we've seen that story
Right.
hundreds of times.
Yeah.
Faust, when he makes that deal with Mephistopheles, it's not a good choice to do that. It never is a good choice
No,
to do
it's
that.
never worked out
Yeah,
for anyone
yeah.
in
I
any
guess I
writing or
guess the
pop
devil goes
culture.
down to Georgia. This the song that might be the only time, like it's
Yeah,
like when he
that's
beats the
true.
devil. but you make a deal with the devil and you try to think of every contingency, and there's always he's going to get your soul. So uh, by that logic, you're after you leave this mortal coil for the rest of eternity, you will be in hell, which that doesn't sound fun.
No.
Because he's basically telling you, yeah, there's an afterlife because I will have your soul. So, but you'll
Yeah.
be in hell. So it's like, well, that sucks. So, and then
Yeah.
the second thing is like any contingency you can think of. It's like when you make a wish with the genie too. It's like there's going to be a catch somewhere. So
Provisos in there and quid
I
pro
would say
quos.
no. But how about you?
Mm. I wouldn't either. I
No.
wouldn't either because like for the same reason because it's like I've seen this enough.
Yeah.
And
I know about the same.
there's nothing in this world I want that badly
Yeah.
that would be worth it to me for
Yeah.
that chance. You know what I mean? Like I like thankfully, in like I'm very happy at this point in my life.
Yeah.
I have a good life, I have good friends, I have all this great thing, and I'm sort of like even before that though, I never think I'd do that just because like I said, like you said, nothing
Yeah.
ever good ever comes of it. There's
Yes.
always a catch. You'll miss a
Absolutely.
catch, and I miss a
Yeah.
lot because I'm
Yeah.
things go. So I'd miss it. Yeah, I'd be like, there'd be something. I'd be like, oh, I didn't even think of that. Okay,
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah.
right, yeah,
It's going to be something so
right.
bad.
And I can't think of anything that would be worth it. I just
Yeah.
can't think of anything that I'd be like, I want that badly.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
No,
No.
you know what they do? They'd come and say, you can be on Batman 66 as a villain.
As a villain,
I'd be like,
give me the contract. I
give
don't
me
care
the
if it's
contract.
Julie Newmar, Burgess Meredith,
Give me the contract.
Conwell. Give me the contract.
Give me it.
Where
They're
do I
like, we
sign?
heard what
Where's
you
the needle?
said. I heard what you said. Here you go. And it's Julie Newmar too. And I'm like, oh, I can't say no to you. God, what the
She
heck?
was so good as the devil.
She
Like
was
that
so
doesn't
good.
get talked about enough. She was fantastic as the devil.
Oh, she's
Because
perfect.
everybody knows her as Catwoman, but it's like she was really good. She played did I ever tell you in the Dark Shadows audio dramas? She played Julia. She played Dr. Hobb recently, like a few
No, I didn't know
years ago.
that.
Yeah, because they had to recast the Grayson Hall, but it's like, who do you get? Well, Julie Newmar is a pretty good choice.
Oh, I'll
So
have to listen to
yeah,
that. Oh my God, I'll have to find
yeah.
it and
I'll
listen
let
to
you
it.
borrow it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I want to hear it. Oh my
I
God,
mean, it was not long ago, so she's older, and
yeah.
she played Julia. It was interesting. Yeah,
That's awesome. Oh my God,
yeah,
I can see her playing Julia. I can
yeah,
totally
yeah,
see
yeah.
her playing that. I love her so much. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love her as the devil. The final speech she gives to him in the train station where she's like, "You're a wheeler, you're a dealer, that
Oh yes,
rhyming
yes,
speech that she does at
yeah,
the end is so wonderful. I love that speech. I when the episode comes on, I like repeat it. I just love it
yeah,
so because it just makes me happy every time. She's a great devil in that. Yeah, perfect devil.
yeah.
All right, so. Cadwallader inserts an escape clause, allowing Bedecker to summon him to furnish his demise. Walter signs, and Cadwallader stamps the contract with a steaming stamp and then disappears, laughing. Walter tests his new power by placing his hands on a hot radiator. When there is no effect, he opens his bedroom window and throws all of his medicine out the window. Well, he throws his medicine out this big tray of
Yeah,
bottles and
I
on the
know.
streets of New York, just hitting someone in the head. That's all I can think of. Walter then goes on to commit insurance fraud, jumping in front of a subway, claiming false settlements. We learn that he has done this 14 times, and he concludes that life has become boring because there is no risk involved. He purposely mixes a poison cocktail and drinks it, shocking Ethel, but it also has no effect. So, what do you think of that idea of invulnerability? Like, what do you think of that? Like, can you imagine like being completely invulnerable to everything?
I mean, it's even Superman has kryptonite, so it's like, I mean, I love the idea. It's cool. It's an interesting, it's such a staple in superhero fiction, but it's an interesting concept. The idea of being invulnerable, I think that I don't know if that would get boring. I don't
Yeah,
know. Like not being able to be hurt physically.
right.
Does that mean you could still be hurt emotionally, or are you invulnerable in that regard as well? Like if I guess uh being invulnerable I don't think it would get boring. I think being immortal would get boring.
Mm,
That might get boring or
yeah.
sad because everybody you love dies and you still are the same, you know.
Right. Like they've touched on this too. I mean, this has been touched on, but like Long Live Walter Jameson, which I love with Kevin McCarthy in that one, and he like has lived forever, like lived
Yeah.
since, for so long, and he says you have to see everyone you love die. You have to like you're lonely, you
Yeah.
can't and you do get with people, but then you fall in love and then that person's going to be gone too, and you're going to keep, that would be awful. That would be the point where you're like, and then having to find more people over and over again for
Yeah.
lifetimes and
Yeah.
generation. It's like, oh my God,
That seems like that would be difficult, but it's not getting like I'll never burn my hand on the stove again or cut my finger when I'm chopping apples or something like
That's kind of a
that
good.
sounds, or I can go like uh you know uh skydiving without a parachute and I won't get hurt like
Yeah, like I wonder. So we're gonna get there. What happens to him in the what he wanted to do in the episode in the next part? But like, I mean, if he had jumped off the building, like what would have happened to him? Like, you know what I mean? Would he just like bounced?
I guess, yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
or is it like Death
maybe
Becomes Her? He'd fall apart. You have no
fall apart
idea.
or like yeah maybe or if you like the Wolfman and Monster Squad when he blows up and all the pieces go
Go,
back together
they come back
because you
together.
need the silver bullet to kill the werewolf. Like I don't know if you, but it doesn't seem like he even gets hurt. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't hurt.
No,
Like
no.
I imagine he would just go like bounce, kind of, and just
Yeah.
get
Well, I
back
mean,
up.
the subway when he gets hit by the subway, he just
Yeah,
like his suit's tattered, but he's fine. He
he
comes up
looks
like,
fine.
you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I
So,
know. It's just very weird. I think that part, that's kind of the nice part is like not getting hurt, physically
yeah.
hurt would be fun. But yeah, I think that immortality would be and invulnerability would be a little bit, it'd get old eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
All right.
combination of the two for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would get boring eventually, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. So Walter informs Ethel of the deal that he has made and then tells her that he is going to jump down the light well of their apartment building for the thrill. Ethel chases after him, begging him to stop. Here comes my favorite line in the episode. She tells him that she'll make him potato pancakes if he comes back to the apartment. He says one of my favorite lines, which is, Ethel, you are a potato pancake. It makes me laugh every time. She's like begging him to come back because she's freaked out. And he's like, you are a potato pancake. I'm like, that's a great insult. It's just so good. And he pointedly says, you are a potato. Just every time it cracks me up. I can't help it. So Ethel stands in front of him at the edge of the roof and accidentally falls over herself, falling to her death. Walter has no reaction
Oh,
to her falling except to say, I wonder what it felt like.
yeah.
So, my question for you, two questions. Do you think Walter was ever a nice guy? Like, did he come into this like attitude or was he always like this? What do you think?
I think he was always a dick. I think
Right.
I think he was always like that. I that's just his personality. And
Yeah. Yeah, I
yeah,
think so too. I mean, so
but
my follow-up question is why did Ethel marry him?
because okay, I because he was always a dick, I think and I've seen relationships like this where you called out the word narcissistic. And I do think he has elements of narcissistic personality disorder. And he can be charming, as we talked about. He's funny and she probably was attracted to that. Maybe he's not like that all the time. Maybe he wasn't like that all the time. Like
Yeah,
initially, like if you're dealing with a narcissistic personality, they start out like love bombing you and being very charming, but then the mask slips and they start to show their true nature more and more as time
right.
goes on. So they're at the point where he's complete jerk. But
Yeah.
maybe early on he was more demonstrative, but I think he was always there were dickish qualities there. But then people get into these relationships and they don't want there's something that keeps pulling them back in. Like
Right.
Quinn and the Joker. Like Harley Quinn is a cautionary tale. That is not
Absolutely.
something people should aspire to.
No.
Now they've changed Harley Quinn. She broke up with the Joker and she's kind of on her own, but it's the whole the basic the classic Harley Quinn. That's like something, it's sad. It's like,
Yeah.
no, oh, he's
It's a
using you.
cautionary tale.
Yes, that's exactly what it is, and
Yeah.
but you see people, and it resonates because you see people in real life who go into those relationships and they keep going back,
Right.
or they stay in
Yeah.
a toxic relationship like that. And I think she was drawn to him initially, whatever charismatic or funny qualities he had, but now it's this far into the relationship where when she dies, he's like, I wonder what that felt like.
I know.
He doesn't even care that his wife is dead.
Yeah. I mean, I think she also probably she probably fell into that I can change him
Yeah,
kind
oh,
of thing.
totally. Yes,
Like
yes.
I'll make him better if I love him enough, he'll
Yeah,
change,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I feel like this ramped up as he got older. This hypochondriac like part of his personality really ramped up as he got older because he was getting afraid of being older, so he was getting more and more insufferable as he got older. So
yeah,
I think all those qualities probably really came to the forefront in that
yes,
time. Yeah. So that's what, yeah, like I think you hit the nail on the head that the charming parts of the personality are probably what pulled her in, and then she
yeah,
was like, I'll change him. He'll
yeah,
he'll be nice eventually.
yeah, yes.
I
I'll make them potato pancakes.
just love
Yeah,
that line so
yeah.
much. You are a potato pancake. A great insult. It just is. And then the poor Ethel just falls off the building. Oh, terrible. All right, so Walter then gets an idea. He calls the police and calmly informs them that he killed his wife. Hanging up, he says he wants to give the electric chair a whirl. We then see him in jail meeting with his lawyer. The lawyer is frustrated because Walter isn't helping himself during the trial, as he purposely wants to be found guilty to receive the death penalty. He tells the lawyer not to bother understanding him and smugly walks out of the meeting. So let's talk about the hubris of Walter, which we sort of touched on a little bit. So, what do you think about his calm assurance that everything will go his way?
Well, ties into that narcissism. Like
Right.
he's so sure of himself that he can do no wrong.
Right.
Everyone else can do wrong, but not him. So
Yeah.
he's just so he's like, oh, this plan is going to work perfectly. This is a foolproof plan, but he
Like,
doesn't think of the alternative.
right. Like, but this
Won't
is the
get
thing.
there.
When he thinks of the electric chair, I
Yeah,
always say to myself, when it doesn't kill you, what do you think's going to happen? You think
yeah,
they're just going to like let you out and then you
yeah,
can keep like,
right.
they'll be shocked. They'll be like, this person's not dying. Like, why aren't
Yeah,
they dying? You know what I mean? And I'm like, what was your end game? Where did you think you'd end up? Like, if
yeah.
you think if they didn't kill you, that they just go, okay, you can leave.
I
You
guess
can
I don't
leave.
know. Like maybe he thought he'd be like in all the papers, or
Right.
maybe he thought it would work. Just doing it for the thrill, like trying to get some. So
Yeah. Like a
yeah,
double jeopardy thing. Like you thought, well, they can't try me twice, so if they can't kill me, then they
yeah,
won't go. I don't know. I'm like, what was your end game, Walter?
yeah,
When it
yeah,
didn't kill you? Like I
yeah.
understand you wanted to try it, but I'm like he's also sort of masochistic a little bit, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
this guy.
yeah. I guess, yeah, yeah. Maybe so. Yeah, he's like, oh, this could be fun.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I know. It's just so interesting that I don't know, that he thought that that was all going to go
and
his
when
way.
he said, I wonder what that felt like. Why didn't he just then jump after her and do the same thing? Like,
Right. Maybe fear.
yeah, maybe.
Slightly. I mean, he was already jumping in front of subways and drinking
Yeah,
poison and doing all
yeah,
this other stuff but I
yeah.
don't know. But I think that dawns on him just like, oh, I can try the electric chair. That'll be fun. That'll be a
Right.
whiz.
I haven't done that yet. Yeah.
He's kind of masochistic, just a
Yeah.
little, well, just a little freaky. All right, so due to his lawyer's defense strategy, Walter receives life in prison without the possibility of parole. We see him in his cell. The guard enters and says, look at it this way. Look at it philosophically. What is life? 40 to 45 years? You can do that standing on your head. The guard leaves, and Walter then hears the voice of Cadwallader, who says, after all, what's a few hundred years, or a few thousand, 5,000, or 10,000? What is it in the scheme of things? We then hear him laughing maniacally. Slowly, the apparition of Cadwallader appears before Walter with his back to us, which is something I want to ask you about too. He asks Walter if he would like to take advantage of the escape clause. Walter nods, and Cadwallader says he looks like a man suffering a heart attack. Walter drops off his bunk immediately, dying. So, what do you think of the twist in this episode? What do you think of it?
Inevitable. It was
Inevitable.
inevitable. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
given the type of person that he was and how uh, uh, arrogant he was, it was inevitable that his hubris would lead to his downfall, as it often does in those kinds of stories, you know.
Right.
So I think it was, at least it was a quick death.
I
You
know
know,
he dies like instantly. I'm
yeah,
like, he didn't
yeah.
suffer at all,
Yeah.
he's just like, boom,
Yeah.
done.
Although I was thinking when the devil was telling, when Cadwallader was saying, what's 10,000 years? It's like, in 10,000 years, though, you won't be, this prison will probably not be here. Like, eventually they're going to see that you're not aging and that you're still alive, and you're going
That's
to
so
become like this
true.
miracle prisoner who's like
I never thought of that. Yeah, he could just sit there.
anomaly. Yeah, some scientific medical anomaly that's, uh, so eventually, like, he could appeal the life. I've lived a lifetime. Now I could get
Yeah,
out. So
yeah.
maybe, so,
That's
but
interesting. I never thought of that before. That's so true. I mean, he
but
would have sat there and they would have been like, this
but
guy doesn't get any older.
he's so like impatient with everything. Like he wouldn't even have thought of that. I don't think he would just be like, oh my God,
Yeah,
I
he needed to get out immediately. I love that shot of him when he's got his head through the bars, like, life.
yeah, yeah, yeah. What did you think of that twist ending?
I mean, I love it too. I agree with you 100%. It's inevitable. It's inevitable that he's going to get taken by the devil because he's not as smart as he thinks he is. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like that's the I know a few narcissists like that who think they're smarter than everyone else, but are not in the
yeah,
least bit. And that's definitely something that they don't think ahead. They don't think of they don't think of ramifications of anything, and that's definitely something that Walter did not think of. The one thing I wanted to ask you about was the with Cadwallader's back to us, which I think is a really
oh,
interesting
I love that.
choice
Yeah,
for that shot to have him appear just to Walter.
yeah,
I really love
yeah.
that. And I
I
wondered
love
what you
that.
think of that, what you think
Oh,
of
wow.
that choice. Yeah,
I think it was great. It was just such a cool way to frame that scene, and
right.
it made it more a little chilling. Like there's a like you don't
Like, does he look different to Walter than he
yeah,
does to us? Like, what does
yeah,
he look like? Like,
yeah,
does he look like a typical devil with horns? And does he look
yeah,
scary? Like, is a new face? Is there a new face
yeah,
on Cadwallader when he
yeah,
comes for his payment? You know?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like, yeah, I love that idea. I love that. I marked on that, like, watching it, as I said, I always love that we don't see Cadwallader's face when that
yeah,
happens. I think it's
yeah,
very telling that it's like, where is he going?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and like maybe he knows now where he's going, and I just love that was left kind of
yeah. And
as a mystery.
Walter Bedecker is the one. He's the only one who now has to face the music, and it's
Right.
the devil. That's who, he's the
Hmm.
one face to face with him, not us. But we see from behind, and yeah, like what is he seeing from his point of view?
Yeah. What
Yeah,
does his face look like? What is he,
yeah,
what's the real face that,
yeah,
you know, only the ones who have to pay see.
yeah. That was a great
Yeah.
shot. That was a
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
I really like that a lot too. And so you did enjoy seeing Walter get his comeuppance, right? Like, I mean, just
Sure. Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, I mean, like I like David Wayne's performance, so it's like, you kind of want to see more of what other ridiculous things he's
I
going
know.
to say and do. So so in that respect, I guess it was a little sad, but it was also like, yeah, he kind of had it covered. Like he made that
Yeah.
choice. He's the
Right.
one who made that bargain, and he's the one who made the choice to use the escape clause. So
Hmm. I often think, I mean, we've had this discussion too when we've talked on your podcast too about like, can you imagine that, being somebody living in 1959, like whether you were a teenager or a young kid and you're watching this episode for the first time, like this really crazy, cool story about a deal with a devil, like on your primetime TV. That must have been just so cool, just to be
yeah,
like,
absolutely. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It
Yeah, to
is
be able to
must
witness it.
watch TV, like, for
Yeah.
any kid during that time, or adults too, but kids
Hmm.
watching it, it's like, kind of scary, but really cool.
Hmm. compelling, like funny, but also scary, but also,
Yeah,
like that. Yeah. Right up our wheelhouse there. Yeah.
yeah, sure.
All right. So on the ending, Rod Serling says, "There's a saying, every man is put on earth condemned to die, time and method of execution unknown. Perhaps this is as it should be. Case in point, Walter Bedecker, lately deceased, a little man with such a yen to live, beaten by the devil, by his own boredom, and by the scheme of things in this, the Twilight Zone."
Yay.
Yeah. I like Rod's openings and closings just really like
Yeah.
cap everything so well. You know what I mean? Like he
Yeah.
knew how to wrap them up so quickly
Oh,
and sweetly and
so
yeah,
classic. Yeah. I
it's
mean,
so good. Oh my
imitated
God.
so many times over the ensuing years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
So do you have any last thoughts about Escape Clause before we wrap up?
Oh, I loved it. I mean, I enjoyed it so much. It's one of
Yeah.
those, it's one of those episodes that I don't know if I had seen that one as a kid. I can't remember if I did or not. But it's an episode that I absolutely enjoyed.
Yeah.
Really, really fun.
Yeah,
So
I mean, definitely wanted to have you on to talk about this one because David Wayne, like, and our love of
yeah,
him as the Mad Hatter, and he's just so delightful in this episode. He's
yeah,
so awful but wonderful all at the same
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's such a good one. It's just like
Yeah,
a great example of the Twilight Zone. Like,
right. Yeah, like the fun elements of the Twilight. Yeah, like the twists that people really like lean into with the show. Yeah.
yeah,
I agree. Yeah, it's definitely it's funny because it was like, one of the more it's a kind of more aloof than some of the other ones. Like directly before this one is Walking Distance, which is an incredibly like deep kind of cathartic episode thinking about your past and wanting to live in your past and and that's another theme that runs through the Twilight Zone as well that Rod Serling revisited over and over, but this one is sort of more um this is back to back with that one, like so
yeah,
it just shows the diversity of the show, like how it gave them so many different POVs.
yeah, yeah. And it was
One,
cool seeing Virginia Christie, another like horror movie alum. And
yeah.
I was reacting to this when I saw Hazel Court the same way. And what was the episode she was in?
Oh, I'm having a
Oh,
moment.
with the giant
Oh, the fear,
alien.
the fear.
The fear.
Yes.
And she it was like, oh my God, Hazel Court, it's just like, cool. Like she was great, it's fun catching those
Right.
actors.
Agnes Moorehead did
Oh yeah,
she
sure.
did the Invaders, it's
Yeah,
like so many different wonderful people in this
yeah,
series. It's incredible.
yeah.
Well, Danny, thank you so much for doing this episode with me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Erin. It was so much fun getting to talk to you about Twilight Zone and other fun
Oh,
things. And
I know. It's
always
like our
fun.
normal conversations like that
I know
we
that, yeah,
have
this is
anyway.
great. It really is. It
And for
really is.
listeners, you should totally tune into Terror at Collinwood. It's incredible. Danny's podcast is amazing. If you're a fan of Dark Shadows, I mean, if you're not, you should be a fan of Dark Shadows because it's incredible. And you should totally listen to Terror at Collinwood. So,
Thank you so much, Erin. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you like other cool culty 60s TV shows,
you should,
listen to
yeah.
both of our podcasts.
Terror at Collinwood has all the stars too. So, like everybody that's still around, you've had
Yeah,
everybody
I'm
on.
trying to
So.
get I was trying to get Roger Davis, who was in a Twilight Zone episode too,
Yes, he was. Yeah,
Yeah,
back there. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Spur of the moment. Spur of the moment.
for the
Yeah,
moment. Yeah.
yeah.
So he was, he was on Dark Shadows for quite a while. What you're watching now is him as Dirk Wilkins. So
Yes, one of his
very
many.
interesting things about to happen to Wilkins. Very
It seems like you always say that to me about Dark. You're like something interesting is. I'm like it's always something
yeah,
interesting is
so
coming around the bend. It's
good,
great. That's
good,
the great part about the show is
good,
there's always fun stuff coming.
good to have
Well,
you.
thank you again, Danny. Then we'll see
My
you guys
pleasure,
soon.
sweetie. Thank you for asking me on. It was
Oh,
fun.
oh, good. See you guys soon. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Hallowed Groundling. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and rate wherever you listen to your podcasts. And don't forget to follow Hallowed Groundling on all social media. Links are in the show notes. Until next time, stay spooky.